Good morning, Warren Peacock here. Today's matrix shows the Australian dollar still has a score of 5. That hasn't changed over Friday, but Thursday it had a score of 10. It's lost quite a bit of ground over the last couple of days. The Canadian dollar up 5 points, and that's all on the hourly chart. Well, four of them anyway. So the Canadian dollar had some decent news last week. Not enough yet to change the 4 hourly and the daily trends. I'll just have to see whether that does change, and the technicals will tell us at the end of the day whether the CAD is going to strengthen or not. Until those trends change, I'm short the CAD. The Swiss franc on a score of 11, so it has lost 2 points over Friday. The euro is the one everybody's watching. Now has a score of 11, so it's lost 4 points over Friday. Uh, there was some market excitement last week on the euro. That might have just waned off now. We'll have to see whether Greece makes their payments and then whether the market decides that that's going to change interest rate expectations. On the daily, it still has a score of 3. The 4 hourly, reasonably high on a score of 6. And then the hourly only has a score of 2. So euro volatility at the moment. I'm still short euro US dollar. We'll see whether this euro actually changes direction. I don't believe it will. I think the fundamentals are still against it. The pound is on a score of 12. We've got the yen, excuse me, on a score of 1. And that was 1 hourly change there. So that's certainly still the weakest currency. And then we've got the dollar gaining 3 points, and that's all on the hourly chart. So some dollar strength coming through. The dollar index has some resistance to get through before that goes bullish again. At the moment, I just consider it to be consolidating. We'll have to see this week's news coming out, and whether the market actually deems the news to point to interest rate increases. The overall scores here, we've got the dollar as the strongest overall. We've got the yen as the weakest. Then on the dailies, we've got the pound and the US dollar sharing strength. Difficult to then trade the pound dollar. If they're both strong, it becomes a difficult pair. The yen still the weakest. The 4 hourly chart shows the euro coming through as the strongest, and the Japanese yen as the weakest. Then on the hourly, we've got dollar strongest, and the Australian dollar and the Japanese yen as the weakest. Now we go look at these charts, and we can see here the dollar yen. Historically, this trend has been in place since 2012, nice and strong, and the triangles have all broken. There's a historical triangle there. There's another consolidation. The breakout's proving to be pretty accurate. The extension targets might not be reached as often as I'd like, but certainly that trend is in play, and I'm still long dollar yen after that consolidation, that triangle breakout there. And if we zoom in a bit, you'll see that after the break, it's hit target 2, the 161.8 extension. So now I'm watching it closely. The stop is still sitting at 127, and we'll just see whether this follows through. And if we go to long-term charts, this area here was really important. So I do expect this to continue higher, and we might eventually see 135 at the top there. And then after that, of course, there's still some more space to go, way up there. But let's just take it 1 week at a time. At the moment, it's broken the consolidation, it's broken resistance, it's at target 2. I've trailed my stop up, waiting to see what happens next. This one also came through on the 4 hourly chart, um, and again, same thing as the daily, and then the hourly. It came through along with the Aussie dollar, and we can just see same thing applies. Short-term consolidation over there, just above the 127, and hit 161.8. So nothing to do on the dollar yen at this point. There's no decent breakout points. There's no decent crossovers. Nothing really going on. Maybe a retracement and finding support on the old resistance levels. The pound to the yen, long-term chart, pivotal area here. This uh, deep yellow line. If we zoom in, it has broken above it. So that breakout, you could have a small go at it. I am considering it. I just don't know. The pound is reasonably stable, but it's at the sort of upper end of the log. Um, but I'm not sure whether it's going to continue. A little bit nervous on this yen weakness, but I'll have a little go at it. Maybe on one of the smaller time frames, if it would just pull back a bit. Remember, I was waiting for the consolidation to break. I missed the breakout trade, and now I'm just waiting for the next signal. So I wouldn't be jumping in right now. The euro to the yen, and this is on the 4 hourly chart. Euro yen extended. We can see it had a nice pullback down to support, and it has broken above that. Again, it's found resistance. That's the 61.8 daily retracement level, and we can just see it struggling there. Had a shooting star at that level. I expect it to come off. If you are long on it, maybe trail your stop up. The 50% level might be a good place, but this, you can see the longer term, we've got a serious consolidation zone here, and it's rather large, so the swings could hurt if you're not careful. The Aussie dollar, US dollar came up on the hourly chart, but I thought we'd just start long term. Here we've got the support level over there on the weekly. We can see that this was a consolidation zone in the past, back in 2004. If we go down to a daily chart, we can see that support very clear. And if we go down to the hourly, we can see lots of support in this area. I'm not jumping on board this one at this point in time. I might have a look at it if it does break on a daily basis below there, or maybe even a weekly. I'll have to see what happens. Thank you very much, and chat again tomorrow.